this season also, you find out that there are concerts. I mean, this is about the time movie producers are looking to release their movies into the market. There are a lot of concerts, there are a lot of shows. How does that work out? You were talking about this is a season of, this should be a season of giving. Can't they at this time also cut down the rate? I mean, the tickets and all of that.
Well, it's
make the tickets
while not
cheaper.
holding brief for them, it's a business. Do you have any idea the cost of logistics of putting that together?
So the other side also, they're also
from bringing in the acts, and I'm not even talking about flying in international acts. Our local superstars they draw in big money from logistics to security. It takes one bad show to shut down, a promoter. Yeah. So these things cost a lot of money. And then there's opportunity. There are like 10. Again, it all boils down to living within your means. Yeah. Catch 2. Who are your 2 favorite? Do you understand? Catch 2 out of 10.
2 even too many. 1.
Because hey, that's the thing. Your favorites all appear
almost at the same
different places. In different places at the same time.
Yes.
If you can afford it, fine. If you can't, cut your coat according to your size. We tend to have this entitlement.
According to your fabric.
According to your fabric. You have this sense of entitlement. If you don't have it, if you haven't earned it, you're not entitled to it.
Yeah.
Period.
Should the parents be telling the children that as well? At this
within a certain up to a certain extent, yeah. Why not? If you cannot sit down and have an honest conversation with your child about what you can and cannot afford, and then you're living this false lifestyle in order to provide things, and half of the things that you're providing are not even the necessities, they're extras. Yes. You're living a false lie, and you're reinforcing that in the next generation because they're going to keep on trying to, it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle.
I wanted to take off from, she was something very critical she said, and I'm relating it back to the question you asked about how the season gives back to the economy. Now, with all the shows we have in Lagos alone, if you think of the economy as an aggregate level, because we have failed to in terms of the design about how the economy works, we really haven't gotten it right yet. That design, that inflow and exchange. One of the sectors that has fairly to a large extent gotten that exchange right is the entertainment sector.
Yes. You said the entertainment sector seemed to have taken a hold of it, but is it sustainable?
So with the way it's going, we'll probably just have to take models from how it works in the entertainment sector and then duplicate it.
If you're going to take models, so let's step back a bit. When we're off camera, we're talking about the Calabar Carnival, for instance. When it started, I think they made a minimum of about 50 billion. And it ran for 30 days. It ran for 30 days. Then after that, after 8 years, it wound down. The next government came, it ran for another 8 years, but wasn't as productive as the other time. Now it's there, and there are reports that it's not as productive as it's been, but it's there. So,
and the present governor is actually advertising it himself.
Advertising it himself. So what is the problem? Why? That's the question of sustainability.
So in terms of answering that question from this perspective, at the time when these carnivals were working, found out that yes, there was a strong leadership in place.
Are they viable? First of all, are the carnivals are they good ideas?
Yes, they're very, very good ideas because
the first time, how much did they make? And 50 billion. This person managed to do that consecutively. He sustained it. Here's the thing. Is it the same, for want of a better word, quality? Are they putting in the same amount of effort? Are they bringing... Because I remember when the Dukes used to run the carnival, it was a major production. There were reasons to fly to Calabar from anywhere in the world. Do you understand? There were reasons to fly there. The lineup, the organization, the security, everything. It was well thought out from start to finish, front end, back end, everything in between. Is it still done that way? I don't know.
Let's ask the man from Crossover. So tell us, you say you were there?
I was there from the beginning of in fact, at the time I actually worked with the Dukes because I was also their fitness consultant, as it were. So I witnessed all of those arrangements in place. So I think it boils down to the quality and the depth of the leadership that you have in running all of those things. Just like you said, those things exist. They are potentials. They are there. But how do you run them so that they can actually make money and affect the economy?
And we tend to always have this misconception, and that's a Nigerian thing. We always think that money is the be-all and end-all. You can have all the money in the world if you don't know what to do with it.
Leadership.
There's no difference between you and the hack down the road.
Exactly.
Okay. You were talking about the economy, entertainment. That is what brought this out. So get back to your...
Taking a cue from the Calabar experience, Carnival, when it used to work, you can think of how much of exchange...
Has it stopped working?
It's still working.
That's what you're inferring by that.
Well, I've not said it has stopped working, but maybe at not the level
it used to be.
Yes. So when it was working at that level, you can imagine the amount of money that was exchanging hands. And then I can be very convinced that there's a part of this money that goes back to the state coffers, revenue coffers, and then in turn goes back to developing the state. So that's, in a sense, thinking of entertainment as a viable place and how it gives back to the economy in a season like this. So if you bring that down to what's going on currently in Lagos, all the concerts and all that, you find out that these concerts are highly successful concerts at the end of the day. So it's just to look at the Calabar model and look at all that's going to be happening in a few days from now, and then you pick these things, and how the question is having a leadership that works, and then you duplicate these models across in other ways. That way, you can boast of a level of sustainability around how the Yuletide season can impact or give back to the economy in a sustainable way.
Exactly.
Okay, so the question I want to ask now is, we're talking economy, but I want to ask, how do we cut down on spending in this season?
Cut down on spending? Well, hey, in this day and era of positive vibes only, that's it. You can't legislate. You can't legislate for people. I don't know how much you've made this year. I don't know what you're celebrating. I don't know why you're celebrating.
Please note, I didn't say don't spend. I said, how do we cut down?
It's up to the individual. You know what drives you. You know how much you have. You know why you're spending and where and why. It's absolutely up to you. But this is what I'm saying. Come January, let no adult, full-grown, full-body person come and ask me for anything. I will not give you. Do you understand? That's the truth of the matter. So, by all means...
Just talking about giving back.
See, there are people who are needy. Do you understand? There are people who don't have anything. And I'm not even talking about just food. Just food. And there are people who all they need right now is just someone to put an arm around their shoulders. I don't mind giving to such people. But that you jollof all through December without everybody, you have a job, you're earning well, and you jollof. I'm jollofing with reason, so why do you want to use your reggae to spoil my blues? Do you understand? And the most annoying thing is that you do this thing believing that come January you're going to tap somebody for something. Don't do that.
Yeah, right.
Don't do that. So while you're jollofing, have your backup plan. That's just it. We're adults. After a while, anything for the boys is not sexy anymore.